Hello, everyone. Welcome once again to Radio IB, the one and only podcast made for you and us to survive the IB program. This is Purya, and we're here with our usual host, Ben and William. However, we're missing Jonathan because he wasn't feeling okay, but he'll make it up to you next episode. But what's new this time is that we have a new member who's going to be part of the crew from now on. We're super excited to present to you Nicole.
Hello, everyone.
How are you, Nicole?
Yeah.
Well, I'm kind of dead after the math class, but the math test, but it's okay.
Yeah.
Heard it was a bad test.
Yeah.
So excited
It
to
was
join
kinda
you guys.
We're excited to have you.
Yeah.
Good.
Thank you for being here.
I mean, I added a microphone for myself here, just for commenting on you guys.
Great, just
We
extra
have
commentary.
Parsa.
Yeah.
Yo, what's up?
All right. But before getting our hands dirty with anything, with all the tests, let me just give you some information about our upcoming episodes and this new section that will be added next time. We will have our first special guest interview. Now, I don't want to spoil anything, but I can already reveal that it's a very familiar name to most IB students.
I think we even referenced it
I
before.
feel like everyone kind of know him.
But we referenced it. We referenced this before in an episode previously.
Yeah. So it's gonna be super exciting. So make sure you don't miss that one.
I heard he's gonna be pretty mean.
Yeah. It's gonna be some.
He's not gonna
It's gonna be a bit controversial. I
don't think it's gonna be controversial. I think it's gonna be interesting.
Yeah,
I'm excited for
yeah,
it.
of course it's gonna be interesting. But he's been saying he wants to be mean on the podcast. Which,
Mean.
I enjoy that.
We're not gonna let him be mean on the podcast.
Well, he's kind of hard to
Show
control. So.
authority.
Okay, yeah. Well, I mean, we've got the microphones,
Yeah.
don't we?
Okay. I mean,
Don't worry, he'll be on.
Yeah,
It'll be fine.
alright.
It'll be
Yeah.
fun. It'll be fun.
And furthermore, in the future, we plan to have teachers, more familiar names, or even you who are listening to Radio IB can be this podcast's next special guest. All you have to do is to follow us on Instagram, official Radio IB, and let us know that you're interested to get your voice heard. Oh, that I admit that was a bit dramatic.
And make sure that you have a topic. I said this before.
Yeah,
in the end of
there are
last
already
episode.
a few people who are really anticipating to be on the podcast. So we already have a queue piling up. So get that fast.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Also, if you have any kind of feedback about how we can improve or like what you want to hear in the podcast, we can also. We are also open-minded on that and listen to
New
everyone.
ideas
Exactly.
are always welcome.
Yeah, we were thinking about maybe adding like video recording as well, but we'll see how that works.
Yeah.
Yes. I've already talked too much, haven't I? It's my Persian genes. It's not my fault. Anyways, Ben, what's happening in the upcoming weeks when it comes to tests?
Well, the thing is, there aren't really any tests.
No.
I mean, it's
Relax week.
Yeah, exactly. After
Paradise.
a painful week that is.
I say
the
that
week of
ahead
this
of time.
recording.
That's wonderful. I mean, I'm saying that ahead of time because I'm having a lot of tests still this week. I haven't done any of my tests yet.
Well, me
They're coming
neither.
up. Yeah. So, I'm celebrating a bit ahead of time.
All right, that's
But I think
that's
we
already
deserve it. Like week 40, we had 3 tests, math tests that we just
we
had
did?
actually before this recording. It was painful. Yeah,
It's hard.
Yeah, it was really.
Really
I mean,
Wait, what week is it now?
40.
40.
Oh, it's 40. Okay, it is 40 now. Yes.
Yeah,
It
so
is 40 now.
week 41, there are no tests as far as we know, but week 40 has been a pain,
Ah, right. Okay.
or will be a pain.
Yeah, that's very good to hear. Nicole, the mic is yours. What do you want to say?
Hello. So from now on, I think I will bring up news.
She took over my role.
Oh my god, I'm more fit for this role.
Yeah, I was kind of bad at my job earlier, wasn't I?
No. So I will just bring
Philosophics
up
on me is you. Okay.
any news that has to concern with maybe the IB program or like the school in general. And today I want to talk about that the school or like the student union of our school, they organized a trip to France to Tinje.
Yeah.
Yeah. And it's during the sportlov, so the sport holiday in week 7 next year. And you can find more information on the Elevkår's Instagram. They have a post and a story, and I think the base cost for this is 9,995 crowns.
Oh,
Really,
So-
really pricey.
Jesus.
Yes.
Yeah, I mean, I'd really love to go, but I mean,
It's a very nice place. We looked it up.
Yeah.
It's a super nice place.
it
but
looks really nice.
no, thank you. I mean, the prices.
I'd really like to go though, but I don't really have the money. I'm a poor ass student.
Well, I'm really interested in knowing who wanted to go because I don't want to go alone, you know.
No, of
That's
course.
no fun. You want your friends and
Oh, I'd
classmates to
love to
join
go
you.
there.
Yeah,
France.
I
That'd be
agree.
so fun though.
But I also heard that
I
they have
mean-
very good after ski parties. But that's
Yeah.
additional cost. But
And
just think
drinking
about it. Yeah.
Oh, sorry, I had some.
Something stuck in your throat.
Yeah,
I think I did too.
Interesting that it happened at the same time.
Yeah, I don't know.
It
weird.
could mean something.
There's flies in the room.
But what do people
No,
do
literally.
usually in after
ski parties?
Yeah, I don't know what
Ski
I
parties.
don't know
Well,
what people
Poria.
do.
Alcohol.
I would not say the same thing. Just alcohol, right?
You know, after the party, there's another party.
Oh, so
Yeah, there's an after party.
Yeah. It just continues going with less and less alcohol until people just pass out.
Yeah, they just
Wow.
have after parties continually.
Why,
I
why
believe
don't
that's
you
how
just
after ski
call
parties
all
work.
of the after parties one after party?
Exactly.
but they're different stages.
Yeah, they're different
It's,
stages of the party.
it's a
because-
gradient of a party.
Yeah, exactly. Because
If imagine it as a house, you've got the party, which is the living room, and then just in different rooms of the house as it consecutively goes down.
You know,
Yeah.
there's
And-
varying stages of getting drunk.
there's
Oh.
varying stages of consciousness throughout every room as well.
And then when you wake up outside, you're looking for your keys to get home.
I've never been to one.
Well, neither have I, but I'd love to.
Yeah, no, I don't think I'm looking forward. I mean, I'm not going to France. Obviously, it's. I mean,
I
I'm
think
not
it'd be
paying-
If I
great.
somehow manage to scramble up the money, I could. And if someone else wants to go with me, then yeah.
I would love to go.
Like
I'd love to go.
20K for 2 people to go is, you know.
Yeah, a lot of
I'm
money.
not good at
$2,000
skiing, though.
almost.
I'm not good.
I don't
with-
even know how to ski, so yay.
Going snowboarding would be fun though.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I like both snowboarding and
Yeah,
Never
so do
done
I. But I think snowboarding is more fun for off-piste. I mean, it's easier for off-piste as well.
I've never really done off-piste. I was always really bad at it
Hmm.
because I always just fell over.
Last year in pre-IB, they made a program for us to go to any kind of like sports that they have at that time in Sweden, like in Göteborg, and then they made sure that there is a coach there. So if you don't know skiing, they would like teach you to ski, and
That's
then you
really
could go
nice.
just skiing with your friends.
I
I
mean,
could
yeah.
really use
Yeah,
that.
it was so nice.
Yeah, there usually are
I
like
think, yeah.
skiing teachers at every big ski resort. There usually are.
Well, if there aren't, I just have to force one of my friends to teach me.
Wait, but
There
then
you
also to add on to the costing again, that's just the cost to be there. That doesn't cover all the expenses, does it?
No, it
Exactly.
definitely
The base
doesn't.
cost
Eating and all this stuff.
is like only the transportation, which is by bus, and around
bus?
Yeah, so it's like
22 hours on bus.
No,
Uh,
never mind.
Yeah, and
Never
then
mind.
also
Through the Alps.
the skiing card that you need to.
Yeah, exactly.
And
In
the
order to
hotel
go
rooms,
skiing
right?
every day.
Yeah, and the rooms basically.
No, it is for 1 week.
I think so. Yeah.
Yeah. So
One whole week.
It's the entirety of sportlov.
Yeah, but like 22 hours. I've done 17 hours driving from Switzerland back. I don't want to do 22 hours. That is
But I think
pain.
it's very.
You can also take the airplane, which you have to add like I don't know 3,000 crowns or something.
Yeah,
So-
I'm not. Yeah.
Yeah, but I,
would-
think it's
That's a lot of
much
money.
nicer.
For the rich people.
For the rich people. Luckily, though, this is a school where many rich people go, so it's all right.
in a country where many rich people live,
Exactly, that is true.
yeah, we're stingy.
All right.
Yeah. William, it's time to move on to the question of the week and use our brains to answer it. My brain is kind of dead after the math test, but
Same
Yeah,
here.
same.
Yeah,
I
I was,
tried.
All
I was
three of us
thinking
are
too
in
hard
that math
question
test.
might not be in the cards for us today. So perhaps we can talk about reinscription, or rather the problem of it, which is about how art pieces or things that someone tries to relay, like information, isn't interpreted the way the artist or the person who wants to send out a message means it to be interpreted. That is essentially the problem of reinscription.
We kind of discussed it in English class.
Yeah, we did actually. Yeah, we did. With the song "Killing an Arab."
By The Cure.
Wow.
That by itself sounds wonderful, right?
Poria, don't get scared.
I'm not an Arab.
I think that just called me out instead. But the Cure, it's based on the book The Stranger by Camus. Camus, Albert Camus,
Yeah.
or whatever. And basically, a lot of neo-Nazis or whatever thought that the song "Killing an Arab" was like, you know, about killing Arabs or whatever, and being like,
Yeah.
And it's not.
and anti-Semitic, but it's
they
just
literally they sing about, you know, shooting an Arab. That's what they sing about.
because
you
it's
But you have to
referencing a
look
thing in the book.
At the
you have
deeper
to,
meaning,
you have
yeah.
to read like half a book in order to understand the meaning.
Oh, like 3/4 of a book, really.
Yeah, it's like the majority of a book, or la novella rather,
Mm-hmm.
of about 100 pages. So it's not that long, but still.
Well, yeah, but nobody's gonna read 100 pages just to understand the song better.
No, and
That's
it's not
true.
even like it's an alright song. It's a bit upbeat, but you know,
Mm-hmm.
I wouldn't read it 100 pages to understand it.
Like testing your literature level.
Yeah, exactly. Mm. So maybe that's something someone can do for an extended essay.
Right, yeah.
Mm.
It's good.
Anybody
Just giving out ideas?
interested?
I mean, no, not me. I'm especially not that. I mean, killing an Arab. I don't know. I don't know about that one. I don't. Maybe I'll pass.
Maybe you'll pass.
Yeah, I'll pass.
Yeah, maybe me too.
Why am I getting offended? I'm not even an Arab. I mean, I shouldn't care. Like,
Wait,
No,
question. What is Arab? Is that like an ethnicity, like by blood, by heritage, or like by culture, like the language? And
That's a hard question.
Yeah,
That's
it's
a
hard.
hard
Yes,
question.
Yeah, because Arabic is such a
Because there are
let's
some
use Google.
some areas
concept.
like the south of Iran, which there are a lot of people who speak Arabic
yes.
and speak Persian, but they like their ancestors come from Iraq and those places, but they're like Persian. They're like in Iran.
So they're
So-
not Arabs.
Yeah,
I mean,
we
they-
call
I
them.
think they consider
Persians
themselves
call them
Arabs,
Arab.
yes.
I don't know how to them they think of themselves. I don't know.
Yeah. Well, all right.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's
so
very
I searched it up here.
Arabic
and
is a very broad term.
Yeah.
I think
I don't
I
think it's-
found an answer here though.
It's kind of like, I guess you can compare it to how saying someone is Chinese is also a very, really broad term usually.
Well, I feel like it's well, there are like 56 minority in China. I'm
Yeah,
not sure if you
exactly.
guys know.
I don't know
But
all 56 of them. No.
They are counted as Chinese. Some of them don't really look like Chinese, but most people kind of, you know, you can tell from the look, and I feel like it's by blood to an extent. It's combination of blood and culture. Then I guess.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I don't think it's really. How should I say? I don't think it's like attached to a certain location that this is where
Not
Arabs
really.
live.
Well,
they're all-
from what I found.
What does Google say?
It says Arabs are people whose place of ethnic origin is the Arabian Peninsula. The language which they speak and which has spread widely to other areas is Arabic.
Oh,
I mean, yeah,
Okay.
so...
Let me just search about the
mainly from
Arabian Peninsula.
but there are a lot of people outside of the peninsula considering themselves Arab.
But I get that
maybe
question.
Maybe we shouldn't talk about ethnicity right now.
Why not?
We can.
Well, we can.
We
if you
can.
want to.
Of
I was
course.
just if we want to continue.
I get this question all the time because I look like an Arab.
Right.
I mean that.
yeah.
Yeah, but I'm not. Just saying. And I don't speak the language. Nothing. Like I was sitting in a tram one day, and there was this Swede next to me. I was talking to my mother, and we speak Persian to each other.
Right.
And this guy, he didn't know the difference between Arabic and Persian, but he assumed
Quite
that I'm
common.
an Arab. And used a very racist term, like this Arab doesn't even
word.
doesn't even like speak Swedish, but I do.
Did you reply in Swedish?
Yes, I did.
Nice.
That's a big win.
Yeah, I know. Like
He
that's just
must be
flipping
so
the envelope.
awkward.
That's kind of an L for him.
as soon as I heard, Mom, I have to call you later. I was so ready. I was like getting prepared to roast this guy. I said, oh, of course, I speak Swedish. Next station, he was gone.
Yeah,
Next
he was feeling awkward, I'm guessing. And I mean, with all due, I mean, he's being racist.
Yeah, he's being raised. I mean, yes, but it's still weird that people are racist because of lack of knowledge, if that makes sense.
I mean, that's usually why a lot of racists.
Well, yeah, it's a stereotype, right? It's just assuming that all the people that are from a certain ethnicity will all act the same way, and or have the same, just act the same way.
I mean, I'm kind of judging the book by its cover, but he had very nice clothes. He had this like businessman bag and stuff. So he's educated, right? So he's supposed to
should be true.
know racial differences and these kind of things, but apparently he doesn't care.
It's not really part of Swedish school curriculum in any sort of education, except for maybe the IB.
Well, I feel like
but IB is like more international, right?
Yeah, that's usually why.
Yeah, but I think it's because I, as an Iranian, don't want to be like mistook by an Arab. But I also understand that similar to how, like, I don't know, most people can't differentiate between like Chinese or Japanese. Maybe they also can't differentiate between Iranian and Arab. So I also think outside to see
their perspective.
Yeah, their perspective.
Yeah,
but
definitely.
Yeah, because
I mean,
a lot of different like ethnicities, whatever, look very similar. I mean, pretty
Especially
much
if
all
you're
white
used
people
to
look the
one
same.
kind.
Pretty much all Swedes look
that's
the same.
pretty much normal, but like the point that he actually judges you and like
Yeah.
And
that's
also
just,
having
mean.
stereotypes
Yeah.
and about a certain culture or race. I don't think. I mean, obviously it's wrong. It shouldn't be that way, but I kind of see why people like tend to have stereotypes. And
I think it's probably because that you're actually speaking Persian.
yeah, it's
And,
probably
like,
due to the language.
Yeah. Like, okay, this is something I've heard that a certain kind of people, like culture, ethnicity, they move to a new country, but they still stick with their own group, and it just get bigger. They don't really like integrate into this new environment, new
Segregation,
society.
right?
Yeah, basically.
And so that's what I think most Swedish people or like other people doesn't really like about it. I mean, of course, you should keep on to your own culture and everything, but you should also like, how do you say?
Interact with
Yeah.
other people in the
Yeah,
country.
you shouldn't be like
Yeah.
isolated with only your group.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, you
But-
don't need to
yeah.
you don't need to throw away your own culture and just change it with Swedish. You just need to have both. Like be like more open to stuff.
I agree. There's no
Yeah.
reason for you to get rid of your old ethnicity just because you live somewhere else and want to be with a different kind of people.
This relates to a different idea, or a very similar idea actually, where coming back to what you said about somebody coming from a different place but sticking with their own people. For example, if I come from Switzerland and then move to Sweden but only stick with Swiss people, that's me staying in my comfort zone.
Yeah, definitely.
When really we should just be trying to just dip our toes in being uncomfortable and trying to talk with other people who we're not used to talking to.
There's no reason not to, try to dip your toes in uncomfortable zones. It just, you learn more.
Dip your toe into chaos. It's good.
Yes, maybe.
Yeah, but also there's also some stuff about like talking culture that I think like are very that can be very different in countries. Like I don't know, in some countries you don't just say hello to someone you go to you go to a store, you don't say hello to everyone that there's
Well, no,
there.
but like in a social
maybe in
setting.
another country that's like the norm.
Yeah,
and
yeah.
I don't know, you don't know about it, and like you don't do it, so everyone like thinks bad of you or something like that.
Oh, right. If you break social norm and you'll be annoying.
True. But then like, I feel like that's kind of fine though in a social setting because you're expected to socialize with others, right?
Yeah,
For
but
example,
I
if you're in a bar and then
I think
you try to
it's
talk to
good
people.
as well to annoy people when you don't know the social norm because you'll learn it by you annoying them and feeling bad about it.
Yeah.
yes,
Learn by
but
guilt.
that can also cause problems. I think.
Yeah,
Yeah, of
it
course.
could
Like
have
social rejection, like that's,
Yeah, that's true.
Not one of the great things about society.
yeah, and also, I mean, if a foreigner comes to a country and they don't feel welcome, obviously they want to stick to their old ways even more. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because they're not socially welcome by the society, so they, I don't know, they put their shields on. You know what I mean? Like they're prepared for any threat, and
They become paranoid.
yeah, exactly. I mean, it's part of a process, but it shouldn't be that way.
I mean, I
think.
understand like the comfort zone talk that you're not, like it's not something that you're familiar with, the new society, new culture, new language. But I think it's quite important that if you go to a new country and they have a new language, because language is like the tool for communication.
Yes.
And communication is basically how you start to interact with the people, with the society. And if you if you refuse to even learn the language, like the most basic stuff, then you're just totally rejecting everything.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I agree, and I think that even if you face social, like if you get out feel like you're thrown out of society, there's always going to be someone you can in some way befriend. Because I feel like it's very hard not to find anyone who will accept you.
Yeah, like so when I first came here, I went to a Swedish school, and I don't speak Swedish, obviously, and so I wasn't really fitting in. But then, like, I choose to do the IB program, and I meet more international students, as well as Swedish people who speak English and willing to speak English. And I'm very happy here. I have my friends, I have like this group and our class, this sense of belonging. But I do know like other Chinese people who they just stuck. They just not stuck maybe, but they just hang with Chinese people. They don't make friends with Swedish people or people of other cultural ethnicity. And I feel like then if you're already in Sweden, why don't you try something new? And
Exactly.
I
If
think-
they were
Yeah.
still in China, they wouldn't be able to do that, for example.
That also has a
Yeah.
lot to do with cultural differences.
And also how fluent you are in the language. It's like if you go up to a group and you're semi-fluent in the language, you're going to be very hesitant when speaking. Like for example, with German, like in German class, I find it a little bit harder to speak because like I've got hesitancy because it feels like you've got pressure from other people, right?
I've got
so
the
if you're
same kind of thing when I speak with my cousins.
well,
at
yeah,
home.
see, right? Yeah, because it's
Yeah.
like you're like, am I speaking right? Am I doing this right? But whereas in English, you're like, oh yeah, I know how to speak. I can just do this. There's some informal things here and there, maybe some grammatical errors here and there, but
Yeah.
otherwise, it's like people can understand me.
Definitely,
So, like, that's the thing.
same for me. I mean, it took me maybe around 3 weeks to learn Swedish, and I could have
3 weeks.
Swedish isn't very hard.
It's
language.
I've
it's
been here
not a
for
hard-
3 years now. My Swedish is like
Yeah, but if you sit down and study it all the time, you'll learn
Yeah.
it fairly fast.
I
Yeah,
think
it's
because it doesn't have
Floria's
that
just
hard
built
rules.
different. He just
No, I
I
understands
just don't dare
languages.
to talk.
Yeah,
Basically.
that's the
Yeah.
biggest thing, and that's always what's held me back in French. That I usually don't dare to talk. But this weekend when I was home with my cousins, I actually did try to speak a lot, and I mean they corrected me a lot because my French grammar is horrible. But still, I was speaking, and
That's
they
nice.
understood what I was saying.
You have the opportunity to practice.
Yeah, exactly.
And it's a key thing in learning languages as well. Daring to make mistakes. I mean,
Yeah.
it's all about making mistakes, improve that, making more mistakes, improve that until you reach a level where you feel like, oh, I don't have so many big flaws like I used to. It's the way at least it worked for me each time I tried to learn a new language. Yeah.
It's a lot about self-confidence, I guess.
It
as
is.
Well.
Yeah.
Yeah. I guess our message from this then can be, go try to talk to somebody you usually don't talk to.
Even if it's not in a language you don't know, just talk
No.
to them. Just talk to people.
Make sure you're welcome though to speak.
Yeah.
Don't just go up to somebody in the tram like, hey yo, what's good? I'm gonna talk to you now.
Yeah.
Especially if
This is
that,
Sweden.
Yeah.
especially if it's Swedish dude.
Ooh.
Yeah, what I found that works good is that there are some apps that you can find other people from other languages and countries, and then in the app, you can say, can we like, I don't know, talk or video call, or you do one just chat, and they will tell you their comfort zone, and then you can like talk with a lot of people. And I've been doing it for like a month or so, and then like, even though I don't know any like I don't know any kind of Japanese, but like I've spoken to Japanese people, to Chinese people, to Spanish people, to Russian people. Like it's fun. It's fun.
I might try that.
I mean,
Yeah.
Yeah, that sounds like a really fun thing to do.
Yeah, the app
We
is
could
called
do it.
Tandem.
We can.
I mean, there's thanks to the technology, right?
Yeah.
You can communicate with more people much more easier, much faster.
New podcast idea. We do that.
Sure thing. Why not?
Yeah, that might be fun.
Talk roulette.
Yeah, talk
How about
roulette.
that?
Yeah.
Just go on Amigo.
No. Amigo. Let's be careful with Amigo.
Yeah.
We don't.
We're not gonna
to those who
record
know.
that.
We're not going to record that.
No.
No.
We are going to get banned so fast.
No, we're not going to record that. Do you feel done with our discussion? Because I really enjoyed our discussion.
I feel like we came along. Yeah.
And I wanted to thank the rest of our hosts here in Radio IB, Parsa as always, who helped us with a lot of recordings and beautiful memories. And finally, and most importantly, thank you for listening to Radio IB, supporting us. We would appreciate any comments, suggestions, or feedback you have. You can either follow us on Instagram and reach out to us there, or by doing it the old-fashioned way and let us know what you think face-to-face.
Yeah.
And don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel to get notified whenever an episode is dropped. And stay tuned for our future episode. There are a lot of exciting things that will happen, so better not miss the fun. You guys want to say goodbye? Yeah, sure. So until next time, take care and bye-bye.
Bye, everyone.
Bye bye.
Good.